So how many people we are roughly speaking expecting? Do you have any idea?
I think
there were about 20 people.
Yeah.
Do we know the geography? Was it purely Finnish people connecting to this?
I know, but we'll check the list more carefully. There were a lot of people from different sides, so
awesome.
It was a good group.
Yes. At the moment, we have only one attendee, so we're gonna wait for more participants to join. But I think this voice is okay, and we have everything ready. But we are waiting a while still.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Is this going to be recorded and put on the website?
Yes, yes, I am recording this, but we'll see if we'll put it online or where. But we'll see. But it's anyway recorded to.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Now we have 2 more attendees. Maybe we wait for a while still.
Hi, Tommy. Welcome.
Do the other panelists see how many attendees we have? Nina or Kari, do you see, or Marcel?
Yes, I see a number down there on the panel.
Yeah. Because I wasn't sure if it's only host or panelists also, but that's good.
Yeah, it's raising up now.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Great. We have just starting up. Good to have you on board.
Hi, Amel.
Hello. Okay. What do you, Nina, think? Do we start or do we still wait?
I think it's time to start.
Yeah.
We'll give a couple of minutes slow start for people to join in.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Hello, everyone, and warmly welcome to International Venture Academy 2021. My name is Taija Lappeteläinen and I'm here as your technical host today. So if you have any technical problems, I hope I can help you. We are recording this webinar today, so I hope that's okay for everyone. And we have also this chat. So if you have some questions for our speakers, so please write your question in chat screen and I will ask the questions after the presentations. But then Nina, our real host, can take charge. So please, Nina, welcome.
Thank you, Taija. My name is Nina Rautiainen and I work for Business Jyväskylä. So very, very warmly, I want to welcome you all online for this event. This is a great privilege to me because we are launching this program already for the second time. So actually in 2020, we had the opportunity to work with Sophia Business Angels together to create a new kind of model for startups and investors to meet up. So first of all, let me share you a screen. And let me know if you can see it in a while. Yes. Yes. Marcel, not yeah, good. So first of all, today at the kickoff, we will go through what this program is all about and why we are focusing this year so heavily on digital health, smart health, and well-being. And I have the opportunity to also launch for the partners of this program. We have Amel online, and I want to thank you for the FIBAN network for this opportunity to work together on this program. Also, you were the link towards Maria01, so we have a connection there to spread the good news for the companies working there as part of startups in Maria01 hub in Helsinki capital area. So there's a good combination of Finnish energy in this program, but on top of that, we have two major business angel networks within Europe joining us for this effort of meeting with startups and investors. And Business Angels Network in Catalonia is the latest one. This year, we decided, based on last year's good experience, that we will have a threesome. We will get the Catalonian investors and startups involved as well. But where this all came from was actually last year with Sophia Business Angels venture academic concept itself that has been going on for years. So that is why I have a great privilege to introduce also Monsieur Marcel Drich from France. And he is the partner for this program for me. We'll go more into detail later, but thanks for joining us today, Marcel. Also, we will hear from Kari. Kari Aho is the CEO of CCAP, and you were the participant last year. More about your experience about the program and what kind of opportunities opened up for you during this program. So a little bit about why are we talking about smart health? It is a global issue. It's a huge issue. It has many sides to it. We can look at how to create preventive healthcare, how to make more efficient clinical treatment solutions, how to measure performance, or how to create unique value in well-being. It's a global thing. It's a huge issue for the humankind, but it's also a huge possibility for startups and entrepreneurs to address this issue. So what we're looking for during this program is actually 12 startups. We will be screening through 12 most scalable startups to attend to the program. And then what we'll do during the springtime, we'll end up with 3 of them going through to IBAN Congress in June, which is a huge event full of investors all around Europe. And I'm sure Marcel will fill you in on details, what will happen in June. To go forward with the 3 scale-ups, top 3 scale-ups from this program. This is a very good opportunity for you to look at your business and how to go about using AI also as a tool or an innovative platform to scale up your business. So what we want to do is bring out investors that have been investing in AI-based solutions and give their best to support you in this path. So let me introduce further ado, Monsieur Drich. Marcel, you are a friend of mine, but you're also a very, very important person regarding this program. You are the leading angel in itself to create a team for the startups to get the best mentoring in this program. And now that I've seen last year's progress with the startups, I can say that this is really something worthwhile looking for the startups. Can you please introduce yourself? You're a member of IBAN board, but you're so much more than that. So please join me for this discussion.
Thank you, Nina. Thank you, Kari. Thank you, Amel. This is an awesome opportunity to really talk about what I call Northern Europe versus the rest of Europe, and especially where I'm sitting, which is the Mediterranean. I'm really, really, really excited. This whole idea started between me and Nina 2 years ago when she was kindly invited to join our Sofia Business Angel Network International Venture Academy. This event was going on in Sofia Antipolis in Nice for the last 15 years. And we were always open to international business. From the day one, France Angel, which is the French Federation of Angels, there's about 63 clubs in France. We're the only one from day one, 15 years ago. We were doing co-investments and the cross-border investment. This year was different between last year. Nina and I discussed this. I'm really excited that we're going beyond the 2 partners talking to each other. I think this year, 2021, I'm really excited to even bring in IBAN, which is the European Business Angel Network, into the whole picture. So what's happening right now, we're thinking about getting my friend Albert from Catalonia, a business angel, our friend Amel from FinBan. We have Regina, which is the Spanish Federation of Business Angels as well. So this is not just Catalonia Business Angel, but the whole Spanish Federation is involved. And Sofia Business Angel, of course. But what I'm looking forward to is when we go through this program, the 3 finalists that Nina mentioned are going to be presented to the European Congress in June, based on hybrid concept, both physical presence in Brussels, hoping that the vaccine of COVID is going on the right direction, but remotely as well. And these 3 startups, I'm really delighted with my friend IBAN's. We're going to give them 2 fantastic opportunities. One of them, it's a virtual space, virtual booth, a digital booth, right there, pitching one-to-one to the thousands of business angels across Europe, the 25 countries, and will be even including some African Business Angel Network and the American Association of Business Network, which they are friends with ours as well. So 2 fantastic branding, networking, investment opportunity. And yeah, this is exciting. Nina.
Yes, very, very well put. And I think it is a good stake for everyone to raise up to their best level. And I think it's also a learning process, like we've discussed so many times, that during these few months and few weeks, I think the startups have the opportunity to really put effort on their pitching, but also on the strategy and their growth plans in general. So I think it's a good learning curve for anyone, any startup. But the best will go towards the Congress, and I think that is a huge thing for this program. So how would you describe what would be, from your perspective, you've been coaching and mentoring for so many companies, so many startups in your past. So how would you describe what is so special about this program if you look at it from a startup point of view?
Thank you, Nina, for that question. I think as an entrepreneur, and by the way, I am both a former entrepreneur and an intrapreneur inside a big company called Cisco. This is where we sold our startup, and that's what I managed to do, entrepreneurship as well. At the end of the day, I'm putting my hat as an entrepreneur. The biggest challenge I have is to focus on what I'm trying to solve as a problem. And I'm going to hire the right team. I'm going to make sure that my network of channels, selling directly and indirectly, I want to make sure that I'm going in the right direction to scale up. And this is what's really, really interesting about the program. Me, my friend Jean-Louis Brelet and Nathalie Dumas and I were working at Cisco. We put together some modules that really kind of challenge the entrepreneur in thinking outside the box. I mean, as an entrepreneur, as you can imagine, and our friend Carrie will be talking about it later on, they are on a day-to-day basis, they're really trying to focus on multitasking. And what's fun about the program is it's a fantastic opportunity to challenge them and say, hang on a sec, how about your vision? How about your strategy? How are you executing? What is those KPIs, be it for the CTO, for the CEO, for the CFO, for the rest of the development team? And we even talk about the go-to-market strategy, about all those creative way of monetizing the idea. Sometimes we even talk about the total addressable market. What's nice about this program, be it in Finland, be it in Sweden, or be it in Spain, or be it in France, at the end of the day, all the entrepreneurs are focused on the local market because that's where they start with. And it's always encouraged to talk about the local market. But sometimes we challenge them and say, hey, think global. Think about the whole total addressable market from a worldwide basis. So we have some mentors involved this time. We're getting Spanish, French, European, and we're even putting a layer, as you saw in the program, which is the AI module. The reason why AI is mentioned and is key where we come from, in France, we have this initiative that President Macron is pushing like crazy, but it's not, although it's based in Sophia Antipolis, but it's a European initiative where the top experts of AI are going to be teaching AI. It's called Europea, and you can actually Google it, Europea as an initiative. And Sophia Business Angel being right in the heart of that connection there physically, we're trying to label some startup that are AI savvy, AI driven. And the reason if they get that label, by default, the Europea Capital, which is a fund of funds that is being developed as we speak today, both private and public initiative money. That's what we're excited about it. I think AI in the heart of digital health, of all this preventive health, clinical treatment, performance measurement, it's a key to raise the bar. And from a branding perspective, this is a fantastic opportunity for all those startups.
Yes, I think the Europea is something that everybody has to look up now, since you mentioned that. And I also think that if you consider from your perspective, what could be the best outcome of this program regarding this development towards such a fund or an investment portfolio, what could that be? How would you describe that?
I think I will really speak highly about our fantastic business angel network across Europe. And there's this notion of smart capital. At the end of the day, it's about smart money. And I think that's what the business angel, like myself and like the rest of the crew, we not only bring investment, we bring as well that opening the network. Where are you going to be testing your first solution? How do you open doors? How are you going to be mentored? How are you going to be coached going forward? Because Carrie will testify later on, it's a very lonely place to be as an entrepreneur. on a day-to-day basis. And you need those friendly faces, not only investing in his project, but at the same time challenging him from a scaling perspective, from a growth perspective, and getting those contracts, be it for public sector or private sector, and getting those channel partnership as well around the world. So what I'm expecting this year, I'm definitely expecting that the entrepreneur who goes through this program will definitely benefit, not only for extending his local network, because he might know his local network. There's no way he will know all the international connections, be it co-investment with other partners of Business Angels through the IBAN family. He might be focusing exclusively on MED as a project, as an example. People forget that there's 550 million people in 23 countries on the Mediterranean Sea. And that just by talking to Catalonia Business Angel Network and talking to Sofia Business Angel Network, there's already a kind of a Southern European focus there, as an example. But my thrill is this is an IBAN family Europe-wide opportunity for the entrepreneur, not only to get his network extended, but get serious money invested in him and basically coaching him to scale up around the world. That's what I'm expecting this year.
Yes, great, Marcel. Let's look at the process that we've now put together. So today, 15th of February, we're at the kickoff stage. We will open up the opportunity for startups to sign in at the Startup Includer. So we'll put up a deal room for you to apply, and you'll have plenty of time for that. It'll be open until the end of March. So we're ahead of the run here. And then what we are planning is to create this AI-based workshop in April. So that will happen first, sort of get you oriented in the program itself and also on the scalable topic of AI. And then we'll go through the mentoring week. It's actually a week of 3 different topics. Like you mentioned, Marcel, it's going to be you and Nathalie and Jean-Louis running through the program throughout the week. And we will split the 12 startups into 3 groups and run the program with the topics. And then at the end of the week, we'll have a final pitching for the whole group. And then we'll invite, of course, the mentors plus a jury that will be screening through the top 3, but also a vast number of investors for this pitching event. So it will be like a pitching contest at the end of the program to see where you've come through. And then, of course, moving on to June, which will be the hotspot for 3. So this is basically what we are creating. And I've launched the landing page today, actually. So at the end of the line, you can see the address to the landing page. And I wish that the startups will go through that material, what will be put into the landing page. And you will find the Startup Includer link there within a week. So this is what we're aiming at, and it's highly exciting. And one more question I want to ask you, Marcel, is how would you describe the last year's patch? We had 9 startups, and then we ended up with 3 top startups to go through the Venture Academy all the way to Sofia Business Angels. How would you describe what happened with these 3 startups during last year's program?
Before I answer your question, Nina, I want to emphasize on the program where I say all the 12 startups are winners at the end of the day. I just really want to emphasize that, because a lot of people, they tend to focus on the number 1, number 2, number 3. But from our humble experience from being running this Venture Academy for the last 15 years, I can assure you that the 4th, the 7th, or the 11th managed to get contact, managed to get investment, managed to get network and purchase orders, thanks to the family of Business Angels. So that really is important for people to understand. From last year's perspective, the most comment I heard, and we did ask Nina and the rest of the entrepreneur that went through the program, and Carrie will be talking about it later on, we asked them for some feedback. And what was interesting is, that was common, is that kind of challenges where all the mentors were really kind of coaching them, mentoring them, but at the same time to think about what is unique about that particular entrepreneur project. Why are they going to be winners? Why are they looking at a particular marketplace? We even challenge them on their go-to-market strategy. Sometimes they make mistakes. You know, we're all humans. And sometimes, you know, we say, hey, this is definitely a B2C project. And then they realize maybe it's a white labeling, as an example. So from where I come from, I'm talking to Jean-Louis and talking to Anatoly. I think it was a very, very, very positive outcome. And I let my friend Kari later on explain his own perspective as an entrepreneur had. What was the value of last year's? But this year, it's more fun because we're adding more Business Angel Network to come and join us. And we are sponsored by the EBAN family, which is the whole federation of the European Business Angel Network. I'm really excited about this, Nina.
Yes, me too, Marcel. And now I think it's time for us to let Kari talk about, you know, what happened to CCAP and what was the program for you. You've also had great success nationally here in Finland. So you actually end up winning the national growth venture program, Kasvu Open, as well as Growth Open. It's like a Wimbledon game for startups in Finland. So you've had quite a busy year, didn't you? And I want to add one more thing before I let you go and let you fill in all the details, is how important it is to see this digital health area as a you know, a holistic point of view, because it can include security solutions for communities, such as Kari will tell us about, but it can also be, you know, well-being or within the clinical care of people. So there are many applications that we can see that are a part of smart health or digital health. But to keep it short, I will leave the screen now and let Kari take over. Please, can you tell us what does CCAP do and what was your journey throughout the International Venture Academy last year? Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Nina, and thank you, Marcel, as well. First of which, I think Marcel kind of summarized it well. What is, of course, the most important part of being part of the Venture Academy is to actually build friendships as well. So I'm very delighted to call Marcel as my friend, mentor, and well, hugely a person that you should get to know of. And of course, supported by superb professionals like Nina and the rest of the coach team. So it was a delight to be part of that. And as Nina mentioned, we had a pretty good year last year, and I believe that the Venture Academy had a big role in it, because we got started with that in the beginning of the year, and then we kind of were able to build on top of that. And as Marcel mentioned, Venture Academy is a superb way of actually stopping and looking towards your business and having it to be challenged by very talented mentors, very connected mentors. So that kind of helps to even strengthen the foundation that you can build upon. So those are kind of my few takeaways to get started. But as Nina mentioned, let's have a quick look on what SecUp actually is. And I've got a few slides to back that up. But before going into that, some of the factors that kind of contributed for our success is that there are a lot of different stakeholders that were also contributing to SecUp and getting it known across different international markets as well. Of course, domestic on top of that, and Venture Academy was one of them. Business Finland was a key driver as well, and Business Jyväskylä, of course, the city where we come from. And this is a short clip from how SecUp is actually promoted from Finland and what kind of aspects it provides. So let's have a quick look on the video and then move back to the actual presentation.
Finland is one of the safest countries in the world. We are a global superpower in public safety, with some of the world's most innovative companies in critical communications and cybersecurity. We simply know how to keep societies safe, stable and resilient. Today, our vast experience turns into future-minded innovations. Finnish cybersecurity companies provide digital resilience across the society. In public safety, Finland offers world-class solutions for preventive action, mission-critical operations, and disaster management. Our expertise covers the entire value chain, from ideas to execution. In a crisis, every second counts. CCAP offers a platform for secure communication and alerts from any device: smartphones, legacy phones, Tetra devices, and computers. This technology can bypass a device's silent settings and demand instant response, thereby saving critical seconds in a first response situation. Another innovative company.
So here we go. That was kind of a quick overlook on what we do in terms of SecUp. And as Nina mentioned as well, so if we are looking that from a perspective of healthcare, and what kind of aspects also relate to into it, that the focus what we are bringing into that is basically dealing with the emergencies, dealing with the capability to react to those emergencies in a matter of seconds, to basically to help to save lives. And Venture Academy was a great part of that, and what you saw on the video is also kind of one end result of what we managed to do during the springtime, is that we kind of compromised or managed to compress the kind of a core idea and the message that we want to convey of CCAP to the public and make it as simple as possible to understand. And then when you are, of course, able to drill down into the specifics, then you can start looking at what is the whole landscape of SecUp, being a SaaS service, providing critical communication platform, helping you to provide alerting capabilities, helping you to improve your safety and to manage different crises, basically to help to save lives. Crises can vary from day-to-day situations that especially in the healthcare and in the hospital environment you see every single day. From that to larger scale emergencies and crises, which we actually saw one huge example last year was that there was a nuclear plant failure in Finland, and SecUp was one of the key tools to actually respond to that situation in a matter of seconds. So there were a lot of key stakeholders that were put into an emergency state, ranging from hospitals to radiation expert and so forth in just a matter of seconds. So it's very crucial to be able to provide a platform to do that. And in terms of SecUp, yeah, we basically focus on that aspect. So giving tools to prepare for these emergencies, giving tools to alert in them, giving a platform where you can exchange information securely, and also document what has happened in a given situation. And all that, making sure that it works with any device in any situation and so forth. And through that, we had a pretty successful year last year, what I mentioned. We started our international efforts back in 2019, kind of on full speed. And last year, we were managed to kind of secure our position in various different markets. So from the Nordics to the Baltics, from Portugal to Spain, from Middle East to Japan, and all the way from there to Brazil. working on different verticals ranging from healthcare and also other authorities to a private sector and very critical providers needing their tools to respond to different emergencies and coordinate disasters. There's already over 90,000 professional users using SecUp, and it's offered by us to businesses as well as to government agencies. And of course, we can't do this alone. Helped us to kind of strengthen our partner network. To currently, especially in the international context, we've got, roughly speaking, 20 different level of partners, ranging from billion-dollar companies like Airbus Defence and Space and Saudi Telecom Company in the Middle East. From all the way from that to kind of a local providers in a given market, helping to basically provide SecUp to the end customers. And if that's kind of where we are at the moment, and what's the journey all together, where we got started, what we did throughout the journey, and why we actually wanted to be part of also the Venture Academy. So we are actually a company that got already started with very initial ideas, and of course working in external projects and so forth. That is kind of a very normal way of that startups work. Already back in 2011, but we started working there with different stakeholders right at the day one. So basically with our future customers, we started going through with them, what are their key problems in emergencies? What are the key tools that they are currently using and how we could improve that? Building from those first proof of concept trials and product, and finally, a commercial product that we launched basically a huge time in 2014. Of course, it was a very limited portion when compared to what SecUp is today, but a very good use case was in the Olympics back in 2014, where we got a good kind of a start for building the business around that. We also took a part of a kind of a sparring contest or kind of a journey in the beginning of the company, kind of a journey where you start to build the business, look through the eyes of kind of external business consultants. And that was a very good way to actually start building the business, because through that, we managed to utilize the expertise, connections, and so forth, and actually managed to secure cooperation with Airbus Defence and Space, which was a key driver for us also in terms of national level and later in the international markets. And throughout the journey, we've received numerous different awards and so forth. And we've done fair bit of company restructuring also through the years. For instance, we bought out early stage investors. 2019 was kind of the first full year without external investors in the company, and that was kind of the good relaunch for the SecUp, because we cruised over 70% during that year. We were consolidating our national presence as well as building steps for our international reach, and that was a key point for us to again stop. We were in a different phase where where it was definitely needed that we need to look again where we are, what we are doing, what we could do better, and so forth. And we took part on the Venture Academy in the beginning of 2020 and went through that during the spring. With the help of that, we kind of that helped us to strengthen the business as well as to win kind of even at the end of the year, we were awarded as the Growth Company of the Year in Finland. So a lot happened that year, starting from the Venture Academy, going through the Growth Company of the Year, winning national-wide tenders in countries like Estonia, having almost all of the healthcare segment in Finland as our customers, establishing operations in the Middle East, basically covering almost all of the healthcare segment there as well in one of the countries. And that showed also in the numbers. So last year we made over 2 million in revenue, and we actually made, roughly speaking, 25% of profit also last year. And our ambition is to grow from that to the next step. So going towards doubling again the business this year. And to kind of summarize some of the aspects that were part of the Venture Academy, there's kind of on a higher level. So kind of crystallizing the company core message and the pitching to be kind of very, very understandable for basically anyone who is listening and sharing your message to others as well. Improving the investor readiness means that we are launching Series A investment this year, so it helped to actually put into the into place all of the key pillars required for that. I will talk more about this in a moment as well. That, of course, being in a so quick growth path as well, one of the good inputs was also related to personnel and recruiting. We almost doubled our amount of people working for us last year, and of course, part of making people to believe what you are doing and making people to really invest their time and input to the business requires that it's also clear for them what we are doing, why we are doing it, and how we can actually contribute and build even more on top of that. And of course, what Marcel mentioned, these ventures have a huge professional network behind them, and they can help you along the way in different ways, opening doors and providing you valuable input where to focus on. And of course, as said right in the beginning, it's a pleasure to call these people as friends. They are hugely great people to work with. It's always a pleasure to catch up with them, talk with them, exchange ideas, and so forth. If we drill down into a bit more into specifics, what we did there is some of the highlights here. So again, going back to getting the core message right, but especially with a plenty of time. So it's not done like 5 minutes before the presentation, but you actually spend a half a day or full day working on the concept, ideas, and using different tools for it. So whether you are applying a blue ocean strategy, whether you are kind of restructuring your vision, metrics, your impact and values that you rely on, building your financials to meet the actual needs for the what you need to convey for the investors or internally, or what kind of a message do you want to leave from your go-to-market strategy or ecosystems that you work with. So it's a very full package where you can have a look on the kind of a very small and narrow aspect, which would be like a 10-second information about your company. From that to kind of covering the whole business, even in a very simplified manner that you have on as one example there, covering different aspects of this. Of course, it's always very valuable to have the time to go through the pictures, and especially to have a kind of immediate feedback on that from your peers, from different startups, as well as the mentors, providing you kind of a very concrete steps, how to improve that, how to get to the next level. You shouldn't also kind of forget that these kind of programs provide you visibility in different media, whether it's through social media, partners, blogs, your own publications, and so forth. So it's, of course, it's very important and a very contributing factor to that. And it's a kind of a spotlight to be in terms of domestic as well as internal investors. So please tap into that if you are considering any kind of investment. As said, it's always a pleasure to learn from them. That is of course very very crucial, because Marcel, Jean-Louis, Natalie, very talented professionals. It's a huge pleasure to actually get some of their time, go through and drill down into your business. So please utilize that. And of course, what I mentioned earlier, to boost your company's personal motivation, help them to learn new things, help them to innovate new things, as well as, of course, this supports your recruiting as well through different aspects, making your company message clearer, your focus more clearer, as well as, of course, through the visibility, it helps you in recruiting more people. So this was kind of my takeaway on Venture Academy, what happened there, what kind of tools we were applying, and what kind of end results came out of it. And I'd like to thank from my side, and if there are any questions, comments, I will be more than happy to address them.
Thank you, Kari. It's a splendid presentation from you, and it's also puts everything in a nutshell what you've accomplished during the program. Thank you so much for this. I will give the first shot at Marcel if you have questions, because when I was listening to Kari, you know, it all came back to me again, how we were in the middle of the Venture Academy last year, and you get this idea of, oh, this is what I want to ask of Kari now in this present situation. But Marcel, please, if you have a question for Kari, then shoot. You're mute. You're mute.
Always speaking to myself. Sorry about that. Kari, first of all, thank you very much for those insights and tidbits for the crowd that is listening, and going forward for this 2021. First of all, let me share with you a piece of good news that neither Nina, neither you are expecting, but I want to make it public. I think you should have your own virtual booth, and you should be connected to the Super Angels of IBAN during June Congress. So let me plug you on into that. I think it's a worthwhile. All your hard work definitely deserve, you know, some boost. And the whole idea of this team is to help each other go forward. So that's what I want to share with you. One question for you as an entrepreneur, while this crowd is thinking to join this program, what was your state of mind? Because usually most entrepreneurs, sometimes they're not savvy, or maybe they say, I don't have the energy or time to go such a program, you know, because that's the nature of entrepreneurs. They just want to get on with it, and they say, hey, this is an investment of time and energy of my part. So they sometimes walking a bit skeptical, you know, because this, you know, call a spade a spade. I mean, this is what it's all about. Could you share with us in a very transparent mode, what was your state of mind when you came into the program? And then what was that one kind of wake up call at the end of it, saying, wow, I got that wake up call? Could you share with us your insight on that?
Very good. Yeah, very good comment and question. Yeah, of course, the kind of the day-to-day work is very hectic. You need to be in like 10 places at the same time and so forth. So of course, it's always a decision where you take part on what you do. And when Nina called me and told, we talked about a lot of things, and this topic came up that you should look into it and consider applying into it. And she sent me the materials that have a look. It might be very, very beneficial for you. And I did that. And there were kind of a number of different kind of reasons that I made the decision that definitely we need to take upon that. First of which was that I kind of wanted my kind of the key person also from my team to actually use this concept to build these concepts together. So not just me, but have our team around that to start working on this. And this was kind of the very good point to do that. What I mentioned in terms of being in the scope of expanding the business to international markets and so forth. So it definitely needed that. And I was hearing kind of from a lot of, well, not a lot of people, but some of the key personnel from our team that they would need some kind of input internally that I might know what we are planning to do. I might know where we are heading at, but you need to share this. So please do that. And that was kind of the very, very good thing to do, rather than just have an internal kind of a scope and go through this and so forth, and still not have the time to do that properly. So investing time, of course, but expanding the knowledge, expanding the the point that we were in a different phase as a company as the previous years. That warranted definitely that we need to focus on that, and especially the highlight that when I look through who are the mentors, what are the markets and so forth. Our background, for instance, the experience is so huge that you wouldn't get that out from any external consultant or any kind of source out there. So that was kind of a very important. And as an example of how busy I kind of was in the beginning of the last year was that we invested and took part of this, and we wanted to be there. And I remember coming back from Dubai, like having a red-eye flight, and directly for the workshop, like having slept like 1 or 2 hours, and have to say that the first presentation was not good from our side. So it was kind of a good wake-up call as well, in a sense that you kind of should be able to tell core message no matter how many hours you have slept or what's the status and so forth. So it was a very good way to get started as well.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you, Marcel, for the question. And I would like to add one question before we look at the chat. I think Taija can check if there are some questions on the chat. And please leave some if you have something on your mind that you want to ask Kari or Marcel or myself about the program. One question for you, Kari, would be, as you mentioned, you have 90,000 users already on the platform. How big a deal for you would be to show out what is the net impact of using CCAP in different operations and how you've made the operations more efficient? You see this kind of net impact idea useful in your business in the future?
Yeah, of course. There's a huge range of impact what we can do, and especially it's very important. What was also highlighted in the program is to actually look beyond the numbers, look beyond the kind of technical capabilities, and focus on the impact, as you mentioned. So, what is kind of the end result where you're aiming at? With us, it's the notion of helping different professionals to save lives. That's kind of the end result. Help the security, help the preparedness for different emergencies and so forth. And you can really see that then you are making impact in the society. So that is a kind of very easy way to start. Kind of when people come to work to us nowadays, they are saying that it's very relevant what you're doing, and no one else is kind of doing the same aspects. They are focusing on maybe on technology. They are doing something here and there, but actually making an impact. the technology that you are providing. So it's definitely something else, and of course that is related to the growth of the user numbers and the organizations that are using SecUp. So I don't know if I responded to your question correctly, but
For sure. And also the effect of using smart systems, smart platforms, maybe using AI on top of that. So that's a huge question for everyone. Thank you, Kari. Thank you so much for your presentation. And now we'll have a look at the chat. Taija, do you see if there are any questions on the chat?
Unfortunately, we don't have any questions, but now we would have a few minutes left if any questions. So please, if anything comes to your mind, don't hesitate to ask. We have Marcel and Kari here.
Yeah, for sure. And Amel is online as well. So for Amel, I think I would like to ask, how does this all sound for you, regarding the Finnish startups and investors? So what do you think about the program? Please share with us.
Thank you, Nina. I think it's a great opportunity, as has been said. I think there's a lot of help available. There's a lot of valuable expertise and knowledge that can be shared. I think it's well worth noting, as has been brought up, and as Kari mentioned, that it also requires work. And I think a company that applies really needs to be committed to the fact that, to get something out of the program, you need to be willing to give something of yourself. So I like this kind of metaphor that is sometimes used as a gym membership, that it's not enough that you have it, you actually have to go there and really use the devices. So in that sense, I think it's been a really, really good and necessary overview of what is entailed and included. And I think it's even though we're in a little bit of a still in an abnormal state of world, I think the world and the markets haven't stopped. On the contrary, things are moving faster than ever. And I think it's important for Finnish companies to have a global and international mindset from the beginning. And I think this is a huge advantage of this program.
I have to agree with you. I have nothing to add on top of that, what you just said. And I think it's even more important for us to keep going, to have this kind of programs and platforms for the investors and the startups to get together and find each other as well. So at this point, I feel that we are content. We have a long landing page where you can find all the necessary information regarding how to get on the Startup Includer and apply into the program. And you have plenty of time to do that until the end of March. So Amel, Marcel will look into the deal flow as it comes. And we want to thank Kari, of course, and best of wishes for you for this year's A round.
Thank you.
Yep. Look forward to seeing you to the next stage of growth, Kari. Well deserved.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We'll close up for this event. We'll see you later on. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Take care.
Bye-bye.